So welcome to Photoshop. So today we're going to be doing vanishing point number 2. We're just going to go a little bit more into depth to the feature. So the first thing we're going to do is go up to filter and to vanishing point. And I'm just going to create one of these grids here for this side. So I'm clicking on those points, coming out here. Notice we've got blue, so that means that it's happy. I'm just going to extend the grid so it does cover this whole wall, and we are good to go. If we did want to change a point or something, we can easily grab any one of the 4 corner points and adjust those. So I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. That will save that and keep it. So what we're going to do is hit Command J just to duplicate the background layer just to be safe, and then we're going to create a new layer. And so it's always good to work on new layers in Vanishing Point. If you do something and then end up not liking it, or a client wants to get rid of it, it's easy. You can just turn it on and off and you're good to go. So we're going to go back up to filter and then down to vanishing point again. And so what we're going to do is select this window right here. Now it's a little bit funky in selection, so we're going to go ahead. I'm going to change my feather to 11, opacity 100, heel is going to be on. And then it makes a selection, but not like a normal rectangle. It's going to keep this perspective that we have here. So I'm going to select this window out. And everything I've done will make sense here in a second. So I've selected that. Now I'm going to hit Command C for copy, and then Command V for paste. So now when I move this, it's a copy of that window. And notice as I come out, it makes the window bigger in perspective, and it will reduce the size as we go in. But we're going to put ours right here. I'm looking to line up these dark spots so it makes sense, and that way I know it's in the right area. So once I've got that in the right area, I'm going to go ahead and hit OK, and it's going to automatically do its best to blend it. Now we've gone over this pipe here a little bit, and I've got this pipe over here that I want to get rid of. This is where having a layer on its own comes into a big benefit. I can create a mask, then grab my brush, and basically I can paint away anything that I don't like. So I can just go on just the outside of this, and then I'm going to make this just a little bit smaller. It's a little bit hard sometimes with this green thing going, but I can paint out that pipe. And so bam, just like that, we've recreated this window just about perfectly, and it fits wonderfully into this image. So what we're going to do is create another new layer, and I'm going to go in here. I have this picture of Marilyn Monroe, so I'm just going to hit Command A for select all, Command C for copy, and then we'll go back to the image. And we're going to go up here to filter and vanishing point, and I'll just create a new grid over here on this side. We'll do this on this side. So we'll come in here and get this as accurate as possible. We've got blue, so we'll extend that even though we're not going to use it, and that's perfect. So now we're going to paste. I'm going to hit Command V and paste, and in this case it's going to paste that Marilyn Monroe picture. For some reason it didn't do it. That's okay. We'll just have to go back in and get it again. So Command A for select all, Command C for copy, and back up into vanishing point and hit Command V, and there we go. So I'm going to come out of the grid. It seems to work a little bit better. I'm going to grab that image and then drag it in. So you can see now that we're inside this perspective. I'm going to come down here, which is your transform tool, and I'm holding shift to keep the perspective the same. I want a down arrow. There we go. And we're just going to reduce this, slide it up, reduce this. I'm basically just making this smaller because this image was just way too big. Wanting to make it a little bit smaller. And Z that. Alright. Bring that up here. And let's move it up a little bit higher. And we'll say that looks pretty good. So what we're going to do is hit OK. And then notice we've got this Marilyn Monroe in perspective on this wall. And because it's its own layer, I can reduce the opacity so it blends in a little bit better, as well as change the different blending modes. So if I wanted to darken it, or in this case, maybe an overlay or a soft light. Soft light, good. It kind of looks like it belongs and blends in, still has the shadows into the window. So those are two different options you have within Vanishing Point. So there are a few more things that we're going to go into, and I'll show you how to clone. That's probably one of the more difficult things. But hopefully this was helpful. You learned a little more about Vanishing Point. If you have any comments or questions, you can leave those below, and thanks for watching.